Hills in Scott Tall, shopping my bike. Just went to the Publix. I'm here about the halfway point on a bench that I like to sit on for many of my videos. There was a lady right there, right where I load my bike. So I didn't make the video there. But this is good. This is good. Let's see what I got, because I threw the whole bag in there. No cold stuff today. I left for the doctor, got some blood work done. Had to wait to eat breakfast at McDonald's. All the wrong things. I've already had my blood work done, so you know, slight cheat. Okay, we got some mayonnaise, plant-based, not dairy. Got another bottle of extra virgin olive oil. Just opened the other one. Been using it a little bit. Gala apples, good taste. We like them in the house. Cut them up. Maybe I'll do a video on how I cut them. I have a different way of cutting them. No sugar pears. Receipt. And a protein bar that I'm going to add to my little stash here. This one is half eaten. My game is to get rid of the wrapper, put it in the trash, put it there. And it can melt, it can do whatever it wants to do, but it's in a plastic bag. I need a bite out of this one to make some room. It's a pretty thick one. The Quest blueberry cobbler. It says it's got 1 gram of sugar. That's good. 16 grams of protein, 3 grams net carbs. It's only got potassium 50 milligrams and 135 of sodium milligrams. That's pretty good. And I want to take a bite. You know, every once in a while, a little pick. There. Cool. Let's put everything back. Yeah, I had the doctor appointment, got my blood work done. They said to leave a little bandage thing on 20 minutes. But as you get older, things heal slower. So I went to McDonald's and got a late breakfast. Sausage, egg, asked for no cheese. I want to make griddle. And of course I got the cheese. So I hung around and watched some YouTube videos, different things. Ended up getting a Big Mac. But I customized it, no salt, no pickles, which have tons of salt on them, extra lettuce, the onions, yes, and no cheese again. And I got no cheese, so very good. So all in all, I cheated after the blood work, and then I can go home and check and see what my results are and see where I need to tighten up. So like, share, and subscribe if you learned anything. Bike commuting, your panniers are, I've got the milk crate on the Townie bike, but I'm gonna probably change it out. I've ordered a pannier for the Townie bike, a little wider than this one. So it'll hold a little bit more if I get the itch to get something. But I didn't bring any ice or didn't bring anything to keep things cold because just didn't want to deal with it. You know, I could have used the insulated bags. I could have doubled those up and just used it as is. But then stopping to talk to you guys wouldn't have been an option. There's a golf cart. So, yeah, there it goes. You see it? Ah, yeah. So like, share, and subscribe. Share this video with others. There are tons of other shopping videos. And I get better every time. I get another trick here and there. There's another golf cart down here. This is Bridgewater Park Retirement Center, halfway. So they got this nice water fountain here. I've filmed a lot of videos from here, just sitting. And I use my water bottle, but it's got ice in it from McDonald's. I'm supposed to cut back on juices, so I didn't get orange juice or anything. It was semi what you're supposed to get compared to, in fact, you can't hardly get anything at a fast food place that's worthwhile. that's healthy for you. But after the blood work, I figured, hey, I had to starve this morning, get the blood work, and I was like, good, we're good. Let's cheat just one day. Get a one-day cheater in, but I still cut back on the salt and did some cutbacks. Ate the McGriddle with the cheese. I was like, well, whatever. I'm not like my wife, lactose intolerant, so they just tell me to cut back on dairy. And I'm like, okay, that's why the mayo is not dairy-based, it's plant-based. It's got olive oil and stuff in it. So that's a good thing. That's healthy. But yeah, I used the ice machine that refilled. I was a customer, right? But they don't have the refill area station does not have a water button. So I just put ice in it and made sure it didn't fall off the sides. You have to kind of block it, with your hands around it, cup it around with the openings. So you let it fall in, but you don't want it falling off on the sides and making a big mess. Yeah, I've learned that. Yeah, I've got that trick up my sleeve now. But yeah, look, it's got a big bulge on it. That's good. Good little pannier. It does the job. It's not super giant size, but it can get pretty big and fat when it has to be. And I just picked up a few things. I just try to pick up a few things almost every day. And that way it keeps me on the bike, keeps me riding. And if you haven't seen the new Project Hail Mary, the second trailer has Ryan Gosling. And he's like trying to tell them, they don't want him for this big project because he's a molecular biologist. He's a high school teacher that rides a bike, and it's not for fitness. So he doesn't have any money. He's probably still paying off student loans and stuff. But, and they still want him, of course, because he's got a brilliant mind. Despite the fact he kind of got kicked down in academia, he wrote a paper that they got a hold of course, because the world government got a hold of every paper of everybody because they have an emergency crisis on Project Hail Mary. And, everything was written, to find the best of the best people. And he had a very unique take on something, and they liked it, and they wanted him on the team. He's kind of like the guy in Stargate. Remember Stargate movie where they got, what's his name? Kind of the dorky expert on Egypt and different things. And they didn't, he was kind of down on out on his luck, and the lady showed up and said, hey, we need you for something and we'll pay you, and you need to come with us. And he's like, he didn't have anywhere else to go. So he was kind of cumbersome, nerdy, and he figured it out. He's the guy that figured it out. And this is what Ryland Grace's character is going to be like. I've read the book. I've listened to it, audio. A little dyslexic, so I don't like reading. It's kind of a chore for me. So, but I'm not as bad as Will Trent. If you ever watch Will Trent on ABC, it's a great show. He's super dyslexic. He can't read, period. And I can read. It's just, it doesn't translate well. It's slow. It was always work in school. So when audiobooks came out, it was like, really? Let me try this out. And I love it. I've got the new Harry Potter book now. Sorcerer's Stone, is it? First book. And the voices, the girl that's Hermione is the one that got the role in the HBO Max new series. She's in book 1, 2, 3. They got young kids for 1, 2, 3 and older kids for 4, 5, 6. They're on and on. So, but she talks real fast. Harry, you and Ron need to do this. Blah, blah, blah. And I always listened at 1.5 speed. Now I started cutting it back, 1.4 speed. Okay, that's better. I had to cut the speed back a little bit because Hermione always was already talking too quick. And maybe they sped her voice up just a little bit electronically. But she's, she got the role in the HBO Max series. You'll see her in that. And you'll see a more fleshed out version. Anytime they do several shows, and if the shows are like an hour long and they do just 6, that's a 6-hour movie. You know what I'm saying? So you're getting a lot more, because my daughter and wife had read the Harry Potter books, and every time we went to one of the movies, they were like, oh yeah, that was great. But they left out this part, and they kind of merged this person with this person and let them do that, and they completely left out this, and they changed this slightly, and which they do with anything. But you get more fleshed out version that way. So I'd heard the bus sequence, the crazy bus sequence, and you can see the bus at Universal. I think it's at Universal. But the one that is, going all over the streets and got real skinny and all that stuff in that movie, they said that was actually from another book. And they had left it out of the movie. So the director was like, shoot, I like that scene. That's a great way to pick up Harry with the bus. He put it in his movie. It's a smart move on his part. And he turned out to be a big deal director. I think he directed Gravity. So he was a smart director. And he always had stuff going on in the background, little animations and some kind of little magic, just a tweak here and there going on. And I was like, hey, that's a good job. I was impressed by his movie. So, can't remember what it's called. It's the one, I think, Gary Oldman's character is talking to Harry in the fireplace. Can't remember. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe if you learned anything about bike computing or Harry Potter. Hey, you know what I mean? I've got other videos. Got plenty on streaming services, book reviews, TV reviews, all sorts of stuff. 55 plus health, things like that. Riding a bike, different reviews of my bikes. When I get the new pannier, I'll show you that. I've got this one put on about where I want it. I want it, I might give it a smudge back further, just a little further, because the back of your heel will hit the pannier when things are bulking out of it on that side. So you have to keep it back a little bit when you install your pannier. But yeah, hopefully it's the right size, right? Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Everybody learns something from something. And every time I ride, I learn a little bit, or I realize I've messed up somewhere, and I just fix it the next time, and the next time, and the next time, and you get better and better. And today I left, this is November, 19th? 20th? 19th, Wednesday the 19th, in 2025 in Florida, Ocala, Florida. So it was 54 degrees, I believe, this morning. Cold, it's getting winter, but eating outside in the breakfast, we have a little lanai. And even the cat wouldn't go out when it gets cold. He's like, what's going on? So I let him out at lunchtime usually. So when I get home, I'll let him out on the lanai because I've already eaten my lunch. I cheated and got the burger. But yeah, even in sunny Florida, it gets cold. Ocala's a little north of the villages, north of Orlando. It theoretically can get a little frost. My wife said there was frost on the window that one morning when that Arctic cold blast came in. And just for a little while, and it was there. It's technical. It's there, but you get to sit back and look at the waterfalls. Maybe even look at my future retirement home. Well, no, it's like, oh well, I won't be riding the bike hot. Maybe I can get a bike in the room, where I can just ride, get up on the bike and ride, something like that. Give me a little pedaling and get some exercise. You got to stay flexible when you get older, baby. Got to do it, or yeah, you've heard it, lose it. You don't use it, you lose it. So, and muscle mass is decreasing anyway. You got to keep going. And all the women are going to outlive the men. We know that, don't we? Don't we know that? That's the way it usually goes. So, again, let's wrap it up. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.